What's going on, guys? It's Tuesday. It's well, close enough to 7:30, I guess. Going a little bit early for two reasons. I got a whole bunch of books. Hopefully, there's no blowout here because they're literally stacked as high as this camera level. So, yeah, if you guys hear a tumble of books, yeah, that's probably why. And there's a lot of live stuff going on tonight, so I didn't want to step on anyone's toes. So I figured, why not go ahead and just start a half hour early? Because I'm not doing anything anyway tonight. But I did want to open up with a special shout out to JB from Discovery Bay Comics. I forgot to show this last week, so apologies to Discovery Bay, but I did get this in the mail from him. I won a contest. It's like a secret contest at the end of one of his What's On Today with Discovery Bay videos. So that's kind of a mouthful, isn't it? He does the same thing on his videos. But anyway, I won the entire Infinity War 6-issue saga from him. So big thanks, JB, for this. So I've read this once before. I'll probably have to crack it open and read again. I always like Magus with the Infinity Gauntlet on that last issue. But yeah, just pretty cool prize from JB there. So big thanks to Discovery Bay Comic for that one. Before I get into my polls like I usually do on these things, I want to get to the chat real quick. We've got JD Comics. He says first, I believe, starting tonight, probably right, if I remember right. Sorry, I don't have the time memorized for your show, JD, but him and the Slab Dragon, TJ Watson, are doing a Stranger Things show where TJ, he's probably going to show a lot of crazy slabs tonight, so definitely check that out. Next up, we got Poor Man's Comics. Always happy to see PMC in the chat. Next, I got to take one more drink for this. We've got Bake, the snake. What's going on, Bake? Next up, we got Rayman, the Silencer Man. And then Bake says he's looking forward to Stranger Things with TJ Watson later, which who isn't? All right. Thanks, guys, for making it in, especially at this odd time, or I guess it's a more normal time, but odd for me, I guess. The first book on the pile this week, we got Young Justice #2. And like a lot of other people out there, I was a little let down by this. Still a decent read, but the issues one's cliffhanger, I guess, kind of spoilers for that, even though I talked about it anyway. The last splash panel in issue 1 showed Connor Kent Superboy stranded in Gem World. And you think issue 2 would pick up right off. Nope. We got to get a story with Wonder Girl first, which, hey, it's not too bad. I'm a Cassie Sandsmark fan too, but I was really looking forward to seeing where in the world Connor Kent has been for the past 8 years. But we're going to have to wait one more month to figure that out. But we get this kind of like cool story with Cassie meeting her grandfather Zeus. So that was interesting. But what kind of didn't interest me is you pretty much have these 4 characters along with Tim Drake and Gem World, and they're getting in all kinds of shenanigans and that type of stuff. So a lot of it felt like filler, I'll be honest. But the whole Cassie and Zeus storyline, they should just made the whole issue that. I would have been more interested there. So, not too bad. But issue 3 is the one I'm looking forward to. Next up, we got Prodigy, which showed up the Pope Grimy. There's your shark cover of the week, I guess. But this book has just been like an action movie put on panels. It has been awesome so far. So Mark Millar continues to be on this role. I'm very happy with this book. And you guys know me. I love me some like parallel Earth type stories, and we're kind of getting an interesting and unique take on that in this book because we're really not seeing anything about the other Earth that's trying to invade the Earth of Prodigy. But I have a feeling down the line we're going to see a lot of that. But yeah, he fights sharks in this one. So there you go, Pope Grimy. There's your shark cover of the week. Very good read there. Here is Green Lantern #4. So yeah, this one was kind of meh too. At least Liam Sharp's artwork, I think, continues to be very good. A lot of people, it's not for them, but I really enjoy all the detail he gives to the aliens in this book. But the story, it's very slow going. We've talked about Grant Morrison and his way of storytelling before. So I'm really hoping, around issues 5, 6, or 7, we get some sort of big payoff. I do like that they're portraying the Guardians of the universe a little bit different in this one. They seem more like a crazy court of aliens that they're basically putting away Hal Jordan, taking away his ring and that stuff. So we kind of probably all know what's going to happen after that one. So we'll definitely continue to keep that on the pool. Next up, we got Die Issue 3, a book that continues to get better and better with each issue. And Stephanie Hans's art, like I said, I was a little bit critical in issue 1. Issue 2 is good, but this one, it just keeps getting better. So I definitely recommend Die number 3. They get to fight like a metal type dragon in this one. So who doesn't love a fight with dragons? So you get dragons and Stephanie Hans's art. Definitely check this out, especially if you like her covers. A lot of people have been showing off her covers in the community. She does some phenomenal interiors in that one too. And then my last read of the week is I almost said incredible. Immortal Hulk number 13. We finally get the return of like the big green monster. There's kind of a cool moment toward the end of this where like I said, I'm hopping into this storyline kind of late. And it's not very easy right now to go back and get the previous issues unless you're going to pay for them. But you kind of get a moment between they're just sorry, I was having a little bit of lag issue there. Basically, Hulk's talking about how much he actually cares for Banner. So I thought that was extremely out of left field and different, especially for a book like the Hulk. So they're definitely doing a lot of different things. So big credit to Al Ewing there. I'm going to continue to keep this book on the pull list just so I can at least find it. So it's a very good read. I'm definitely not disappointed. All right, let's see why we transition into the next stack of books. Who's in the chat? Already shouted out Pope Grimy. Unfortunately, I'm out of toothpicks to fling at him, but it's always great to have Pope Grimy in the chat. Baked a Snake easily is going to have the best line of the night in the chat. He says, we're going to need a bigger toothpick. So there you go. Awesome one, Bake. We got Kakarot. What is going on? He says, cheers. Cheers to you, sir. We got Comic Spectre in the chat. There's another one of those people are going to be on, what is it, next Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday now on Comic Core Unlimited. So I don't even know if that's announced yet, but I guess you heard it here first. The Comic Core is branching out into a second show, but it's going to be an all-new cast of characters. So stay tuned to the Comic Core channel for that. We got Ed D in the house. What is going on, Ed? Glad to have you in the chat. There's Discovery Bay. I was talking about him previously, so I don't know what I did with this little. Oh, here we go. So big thanks once again to Discovery Bay for this nice stack of Infinity War books. We got, sorry, I'm still fighting that cough, unfortunately. We got Prowler 671. Glad to see you in the chat, Prowler. We got Boy Who Had 7. Him and Thanatos Comics are getting ready to start a very awesome series idea, in my opinion. They're going to re-chronicle all of the Jeff Johns Green Lantern run, but they're actually going to start with Green Lantern Secret Origin, and then they're going to go to Green Lantern Rebirth. So Boy Who Had 7 hasn't read this yet, and we all know Thanatos. He's a pretty big mark for Hal Jordan. So it's going to be a very interesting show. It's one of my favorite Green Lantern runs of all time. So I will definitely be reading along with them and hopefully being able to hop in their chats if I can catch their live streams. We got Midwest Comic Man Paul in the chat. He just had a great haul video today. Actually, I think he's been putting out videos every single day this week. So check out Midwest Comic Man. He's been putting out some awesome stuff related to the Golden Age, artist spotlights, and dollar hauls. So definitely been enjoying his work this week. Who else do we have? I think I saw there he is, Symphonic Elk. You haven't seen Symphonic Elk for a minute. What's going on, man? Glad to see you in the chat. Definitely enjoy his haul videos too. He has some great stuff he finds. And then we got the mailman himself, Jason Smith. What is going on, Jason Smith? Very glad to see you again in the chat. All right, so like I said previously, we've got a lot of books to discover. So I'm just gonna start showing the books. So also was at my local shop this week. Picked up some dollar books. They had some sets for pretty cheap and just some like random dollar drops. I think he's just trying to clear out inventory and shelf space because they had some pretty good stuff and some stuff I definitely have not seen in his shop before. So I got a series of Moon Knight covers from Arthur Sodam. So here's Moon Knight number 24. These are ones I really haven't seen before. I've seen them pop up from time to time. I've just never seen them like in the wild, I guess, or on the shelf or anything like that. So there's that one. I think this one's the best one, issue 25 with the murder of crows. So that one's really cool. And then we've got issue 23 as well with the bullseye shooting range with Moon Knight as the target. So I thought that was really nice. Love me some Arthur Sodam covers. And then also I'm trying to get the entire Alan Moore Swamp Thing run. For some reason they were selling some Swamp Things for $1 from this run. They're actually really sharp. So we got Swamp Thing 55, and all these are newsstands. So happy with that. But yeah, I can't believe these were $1. I never see Alan Moore stuff for $1. So these are just kind of outside the dollar bins. They're sitting on a shelf unpriced, and dude, just like, I'm going to sell them for $1 because they're not priced. Also got 56 newsstand. So there's that one. Then the last one they had was 57. So I definitely look forward to reading the rest of these Swamp Things because I'm reading most of them currently on the DC streaming app. They're slowly actually updating their comic selection. So you're seeing most of them actually hit. So I'm up to about issue 40 so far, but hey, why not collect them if I can find them for cheap too? Next up, we've got a 11. I found this. He had these as a bundle of 11 for $10. So I got these books for less than $1. And you guys know me, I kind of like Ninja Turtles. So here's ones once again, I never see these, period. I got Ninja Turtles issue 1. This is the Image comic. Like, I guess Eric Larson brought it in under his line. You know, he only does the covers, but there's some really awesome covers. I think I'm gonna have to crack these open and read them all. So I was flipping through them as I was rebagging all of them. They looked pretty nuts. And I know IDW is actually reprinting these under, I think it's called TMNT Urban Legends. But yeah, I thought it was cool to get the originals for $1 because some of these I was doing a little bit of research on eBay and stuff. And these things aren't cheap. They're like $5 to $10 a pop. So I'm not sure why my store was selling them for less than $1 a piece. And yeah, Symphonic Ilk said exactly what I was going to say. The later runs, it's almost like that 80s G.I. Joe run where they're not cheap at all. They just go up in price the further you go in the run. So anyway, there's issue 1. Sorry, I was getting a text. I didn't know it was from who. Issue number 2. Once again, Larson did every one of these covers. Issue number 3. Kind of looks like King Shark there. Issue number 4. This is where it goes really off the rails from what I can tell. You get Cybernetic Donatello. I don't know if it's because they all print them in black and white, but they tried to give the Turtles a little bit more distinguishable traits, it seems, as the series went on. And then by issue 5, Raphael's missing an eye, so he's either wearing like a Casey Jones type hockey mask, or his face is bandaged up, or he's got a eye patch on. So, like I said, this is one of the weirder looking turtle runs I've ever seen. I'm definitely gonna have to check these out. We got 6. We got issue 7. Like I said, they almost gave him. They almost wanted to be like more like Wolverine too, the way he holds his size and stuff, and is missing an eye and everything. So I could definitely see a heavy Wolverine influence on Raphael just looking through these. So I'm definitely excited. I think this might rip off something. So yeah, just a great cover there. I love that. And then, of course, you know, when you're talking Image and Eric Larson, you got to have the crossover eventually. So you get some Savage Dragon. And then the last one, issue number 11. So unfortunately, they didn't have a 12 through 23, but that would have been a huge score. So maybe my steal of the week. I'll let you guys be the judge as we go on tonight. But I thought those were some nice finds for basically $1 or less. And then Boy Who Had 7 says, I love those TMNT books. I don't own one, but that needs to change. Yeah, I definitely recommend it if possible. All right, so the next one, I'm going to go where my half-price books. You guys know me. I love me some half-price books. Everything there is like $1 or less around here. So back to Eric Larson again. I found some 20-cent finds. So for 20 cents, I found the Savage Dragon 22 with the turtles on it. So I thought that was really awesome. I actually found this before I went to my local shop this last week. So like I said, I love me some turtles. So I had to get that. And I also like Jim Lee, so I had to get Savage Dragon 13 for 20 cents. This is the Jim Lee drawn issue. So I thought that was really cool. And then next up, we got a Dynamic Forces variant for Avengers Invaders #1. I think this is actually written by Alex Ross, but it's a David Finch variant cover. So I had no idea what this was. And yeah, I decided why not pick it up for $1 because it was probably some sort of like store exclusive back in the day or 1 in 25 or something. So definitely couldn't pass that up. And this is becoming one of those books I just keep finding for $1. So if anyone needs a Batman one, I guess let me know. But I found another copy of it for $1 from the Rebirth run from Tom King. So I found another $1 copy. I have a bunch of copies of this, but I didn't have this second printing. Here's Captain America 25 from the Ed Brubaker, Steve Epting run, the one where Captain America gets assassinated. So I have a couple different variations of the first print, including a Wizard World slabbed one. I figured why not get the second print because I just don't see that one around too often. Next up, we got an Arthur Adams cover, Heroes for Hope, starring the X-Men, where all proceeds go to charity. So couldn't pass up on a cool Arthur Adams cover with Wolverine front and center. Here's another weird one. I got Destroyer Duck, #2 from the 80s. And the main reason I got this, it's Jack Kirby art. So some weird late Jack Kirby run there. So definitely have no idea what Destroyer Duck is. I just kind of saw Jack Kirby's name on the cover. I'm like, yeah, I may as well get it. Why not? So it's the only issue of it they had. So for $1, why not? I think I bought this previously, but it was on my stack for some reason. I got Shoe issue 52. Just another $1 book. So you can't pass up Shoe for $1. All right, let's see. I think I saw somebody else, including a Blue Wrench, get in the chat. We got the Great Legend show in the chat, and big thanks to Great Legend. He just shared the video, so can't thank you enough for that. That's awesome. So glad to have you in the chat. We also have sorry about that. Chad90MF Comics. He says, "What's going on?" I caught him on Bueller's community feature. I think it was on Sunday, and he was wearing the suit and tie like a couple other people I've seen on YouTube would. So that was pretty awesome. And then we still got Prowler 671 chatting it up in Symphonic Elk. So once again, thank you guys once again for being here because, like I said, we got books on books tonight. The next lot, I got 3 eBay lots this week. I know I said I was going to slow down, but hey, a good deal is a good deal. And sometimes you just don't pass up a good deal. So actually in this lot, this has one of my 2019 want list books. So that's what kind of got me exploring eBay again, just trying to get some of these books checked off the old 2019 list. And I believe I showed a couple of these on the old Comic Core show last Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern. You never know what's going to happen on the Comic Core. Maybe I'll show some books, but I got this nice stack of Superman books from the Silver and Bronze Age. So here's the oldest one of the bunch, Superman 186. So let me some checkered top DC there. Sorry about that, guys. Next up, we got Superman 213. This vault to be open only in the event of my death, Superman. So I think I bought a Batman that had like this exact same type of thing going on, where he promised Dick Grayson like $5.20 or something like that. So I thought that was really funny. So I guess I have the matching set now. Next up, we got a body switch between Superman and the Flash in issue number 220. So always like some early Silver Age, Bronze Age crossover stuff. I guess that's bronze. It's 15 cents. Get some giant size action with 227. And for giant size, this one's actually not in too bad a shape. I got some ugly giants coming up later, but hey, it's all right. Main reason I bought this lot, though, as you could guess, Superman 233, just a wonderful, awesome Neil Adams cover with him breaking the chains. I know it's got that super long leg right there, but hey, I still have always wanted this cover, so it's probably going to go up right on the wall after this video. But I had to show it here first because that's what I do. But nonetheless, I actually cracked this open a little bit and read through it. And it's a pretty bonkers story where you have, like, somehow kryptonite just gets turned into iron, so it no longer affects Superman. So you have such scenes as Superman foiling a bank robbery where the bank robber tries to throw iron at Superman, and Superman literally just eats it in front of him, saying he hasn't heard the news, and then he just flicks the guy in the face and knocks him out. So really enjoyed that scene. It was really funny. But yeah, just an iconic cover. Me being a Superman fan, I just had to have that. I got Superman issue 239, and this one, whew, it's got a little bit of roll on it. So, but still, nice book to have in the collection. Back to the Guardians of the Universe, we got Superman 247. So I'm definitely this is another one I'm definitely gonna have to read. I just want to see what the Guardians and Superman are talking about there. And I just like this whole era of the 48 pages for only 25 cents. So just a cool cover there. Makes me want to open up the book, which is doing its job. Next, we got another Neil Adams, Superman 254. So this is kind of just like the icing on the whole 233 cake, I guess. So love me some 70s Neil Adams. So happy to get that. And then 262, or for some reason, to save his life, he has to fly through the center of a building. So yeah, that's never pleasant. And then the last one, I know, great legend, love this one. Superman 276, first appearance of Captain Thunder. I think this was, I guess, right before Captain Marvel. Now we know him as Shazam was a part of the DC universe or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of a headache to do all that research, but nonetheless, you basically get a Captain Marvel type star fighting Superman. So this is a really cool book, and like I pointed out, I think on the Comic Core, maybe on one of the after chats we had, some little kid must have really hated Captain Thunder because he tried to, like, there's a burn mark that goes pretty much through the entire book right there. So that cracked me up once I figured out what that was. But yeah, it's definitely a burn mark of some sort. So apparently someone did not like Captain Thunder. Maybe it was Zachary Levi's copy as a kid or something. That'd be funny. But anyway, that's it for the Superman lot. But I need to get back into the chat. So I'm constantly having to make room here because there's one lot that's like lopsided. I'm making sure it's not falling over on me here. But let's see who we have in the chat. We got Comic Core Chad. He says he misses me. So Chad, you're all right. What's going on, Chad? Glad all the Chads could make it out tonight. We also have Jeff Comic 813. He just followed me on Instagram today, so I appreciate that. Jeff Comic 813. If you guys like to, just see Woodard19 on Instagram. If you like to see the spoilers for this type of show, you can go to my Instagram. So everyone's just saying hi to each other. We got Guitars and Comics in the chat. He says, my new job has been killing me, so I haven't been too active. I can't miss Seawood's stream, though. So thank you for that, Guitars and Comics. Definitely glad to have you in the chat. And we have my first subscriber ever. We got Fish Tropic in the chat. He's been laying down some videos recently, too. So definitely check out Fish Tropic. I believe he also crossed 1,000 subs a little over a week ago. So big congratulations, Fish Tropic, on that. All right. So then I was going to get to the big haul next. So I got these Star Wars books for basically, I threw one of those lowball bids of like basically $1 books. I think it was like $47 because there's 47 books here, if I remember right. And of course, I had to pay the shipping, so it comes out to about $1.50 a book, if I remember right. So, but nonetheless, I basically got me a quick Star Wars collection here. So the main reason I just had to have it, I've always wanted this comic right here, Star Wars #1. I think they're all newsstands, but newsstand, there you go. There's the gimmick. But yeah, usually once you see the 30-cent, you see the barcode, you know you're in pretty good shape. So I definitely was excited to get these for basically $1 or so, because more or less like this and maybe one or two other books make up the whole value of the lot. So very happy with this auction one, even though I didn't need it. But yeah, I got me a Star Wars #1. It's in a pretty good condition, but I think I'm definitely gonna have to send it for a pressing at some point. Hi, Midwest Comic Man Paul. So I'll put this on my pressing pile probably. Either that or if it doesn't go right up on my wall. But yeah, I mean, just give that a look. It's just another iconic cover, iconic book to have. So I couldn't pass it up for the price. But yeah, I got a whole run, so I guess I'll just turn through them real quick. And honestly, like, there's probably a lot I'm just going to resell in this lot for maybe like $2 a book. So if anyone is looking for just run filler in Star Wars, let me know, because I don't have room for this entire stack. But I'm obviously going to keep one, the Empire run, and probably a couple other ones like this one here, because I think this is the first Han Solo, if I remember right. And then they threw in reprints of 3. I know it's a reprint because it literally says reprint right next to Luke Skywalker, just like issue 4 does. Got the reprint. But hops right to 8, number 16. Yeah, like I said, if there's anyone at all out there who's looking for Star Wars, I guess maybe just hit me up on various social media platforms and let me know. But yeah, these are some awesome covers too. I never really have ever looked at them before, besides, you know, the first one and the Empire run. But there's just, I was bagging and boarding these and, you know, just in a chat with probably like a Kyle Walker or somebody like that. I can't remember. I've been in so many of those things the last week. And, you know, I was just sitting here just admiring the interior art and the covers on these because you get some awesome Carmine Infantino stuff like this here on 28. And then you get 29. Cool Vader cover, 31. And as you can see, now we're getting into the actual newsstands. So there you go. 33. And what is that? Those are some sweet glasses. I don't remember ever seeing those in a Star Wars movie. But I guess you got to remember most of these are released right before Empire. So they're kind of just making up stuff as they go. But yeah, otherwise, like for not ever being, they were bagged, but they weren't boarded. So I think I got like a whole nasty gob of bags there that I need to throw out from this lot. But yeah, considering they weren't bagged and boarded, they're actually not in too bad a condition. They just kind of had that little fold going, but the spines were actually pretty dang good condition, all things considered. But you know, the other books I wanted out of the slot are right here. So you get 39, which is pretty much the retelling of Empire Strikes Back, which is one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. So I'm definitely hanging on to the Empire Strikes Back books. Got issue 40. Cool. AT-AT. Probably maybe my favorite cover of the whole run, issue 41, just because it has a very detailed, you know, awesome drawing of the Millennium Falcon on it. So thought that was really awesome. And then the other kind of money book in this whole lot was 42, first Boba Fett. So they didn't even have this one pictured in the auction. I just kind of looked up the number to make sure which issue it was, and it was said like you get issues 40 through 45 or something. I'm like, well, that includes 42, so that's awesome. But yeah, just another iconic kind of cover at this point. So happy to have that in there. Definitely be staying in the collection. And then 43. Gotta love some Lando. And then 44. So like I said, I'll definitely be keeping the Empire Strikes Back books. But like I said, and then The Last Jedi's coming up too. I'll probably be keeping that one. But most of these other ones, I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with. So if anyone, like I said, once again, if anyone just needs some run filler or collecting Star Wars out there, please let me know, because I do not have a box big enough to contain all this Star Wars goodness. And then there's 49. I know people were looking for this one all last year because, ooh, The Last Jedi. Even though that movie was not the best. But still, cool cover, awesome book to have. Got issue 50, the giant collector's issue for some reason. Just a really awesome cover, though, like a lot of these are. I know I'm getting kind of repetitive saying that, but they're really cool. So 51. Uh-oh, sent me an IG message. I'll definitely have to check that after the video. So 52, 53, 54. Ooh, Spider-Man on NBC. It's Amazing Friends. You see Iceman and Firestar. Oh boy. 56. Lando's having a real bad day. Got a Hulk Hogan style double axe handle to the neck. 57, which, whew, we got some. Yeah, like I said, some of these definitely need that pressing there. You got that nice, probably the worst of the books in terms of spine rolls. So there you go on that. Number 60, cool Walt Simonson orange cover on that one. That's actually really nice. 61. And actually, I think a lot of these are Simonson from here on out. 62, just a cool red Pariah Luke Skywalker cover there. 63, once again, a little spine roll on that. Probably my least favorite cover, 64. It's just someone got bored that day, I guess. Like they could at least drew the whole monster and zoomed out. Cool Leia cover on 65, though. 66 newsstand. 66 direct. I need something to indicate direct eventually. 71 and 72 are the last two, so there's a little bit of skipping around. So that was my Star Wars haul, all from one seller. And yeah, I had to rebag each and every one of those. So that was a lot of fun. So as soon as I bought this lot, I kind of took, luckily I kind of anticipated having to rebag this whole basically experiment. So I just ended up going on Amazon and pre-ordering 200 bags of boards. And luckily I did, because I blew through what I had. All right, let's get back into the chat, because I got to say hi to some people that just hopped in during that whole Star Wars rant. I believe we got one of the best auction hosts in the whole community. We got All About Comics. What is going on, All About Comics? JP, we had a great auction last Wednesday on his channel, me, Who Dat, Tacoma Comics, which I see Tacoma's in the chat as well. How's it going, Tacoma? Drew Manchu, and hopefully I didn't forget. I think I said Who Dat. Who Dat Comics and Movies was there. So we had a great time. Sold a lot of books. Had a lot of bidders. Been some good numbers. So definitely can't complain about that. But yeah, if you guys like auctions, I mean, once again, the Great Legend said it best. This is like the year of the auctions. Not only does Great Legend have his awesome auction the first Saturday of each month, which he already had his this February, and I know he's got another one coming up first week of March. JP's doing his first and third Wednesday of every month, so definitely check that out. And I believe once again the New York Warriors are going live again tonight, every Tuesday night. So if you guys like auctions, you get some good deals. Let's see who else I missed here. We got Pope Grimy. He's still saying hi to everybody. Glad he's in the chat. Let's see. Stephen Nagy, how's it going? We got a new person to the chat. Stephen Nagy returned his thumbs up there, so sub him up, guys. We got Metarog in the chat. He says, sorry I'm late. Definitely check out Metarog stuff. He's been putting out some awesome videos lately. He did a combined video effort with JPL Comics Geekdom. And they did like a 3-part George Perez retrospective. So that was really awesome. You guys know how much I like George Perez. So I'm going to do my best to check out every minute of that retrospective. But I've caught what I've can so far and really enjoyed it. We've got Spidey Fan in the chat. He says, see what's going on, Spidey Fan. I still need to hear that story about that UPS package I sent him, but he was nice enough to buy a slab off me at last sale we had as well. We got Yes Lou. He says, what's going on, guys? Glad Yes Lou is in the chat. We got Sam's Tangled Web. The architect himself is burning it down in the chat tonight. Glad we got Sam. I know he's probably kind of stressed out about the whole Becky Lynch being suspended for 60 days and Charlotte being put in her spot at WrestleMania. Hey, I'm right there with you, man. But I have a feeling that we're going to see a triple threat match at WrestleMania some way, somehow. Next up, we got my friend Don from the Comic Core chat. Mastodon Comics and Collecting. Sorry, man. I had to start the show a little bit early tonight. Just trying to avoid all the fun live stuff going on tonight. Sorry, I skipped ahead as I was reading a funny quote from JP. I got to scroll back up. I missed a lot. I'm sorry, guys. Star Wars, I think I saw Comics Misexplained. What's going on, Comics Misexplained? Glad you could make it into the chat. Looking forward to seeing that guy, hopefully at C2E2 next month. So it's right around the corner, it seems like. Ed D. He's trying to help me out with my new catchphrase. Direct, I guess. We'll see what happens with that one. All right, let's see. Hopefully I didn't miss anyone else. I think I saw Ruben Neves. What's going on, Ruben? Glad you could make it into the chat. We got John's Comics with Kids. He's also going to be part of that Comic Core show at whatever time they figure out next week. Comic Core Unlimited. Maybe they'll be limited on time, but they're unlimited on comic knowledge. We got Big Will in the chat. He says, hey, all. What's going on, Big Will? Just subbed him up the other day. And JD is back. Dude, you unsub me to 30 channels, says All About Comics. All right, so we're going to get back into the comics. So one last haul from eBay. So this is one I've been slowly collecting the older X-Men books, and I was missing a big chunk between 120 and 130. So I figured, why not just go ahead and get this deal, because once again, it was another one of those awesome best offers where you just kind of throw your first bid in and they actually accept it. I thought it was a pretty respectable one though. Basically, I ended up paying, if I remember right, probably like $10 a book shipped. But well, let's just see if it was worth it. I think so. First up, we got Uncanny X-Men 116. So once again, just a bunch of these X-Men's is what I was missing. So I don't think I had this one in the collection. We also have X-Men 117. This is a Psywar with Shadow King and Professor X. I have this issue already, but the whole front cover was just kind of wrecked. So glad to have an upgrade on that. Most of these are actually in pretty dang good condition, but once again, no bags and boards, guys. Just bags, no boards. So very lucky the condition was pretty solid on these. We got 118. I think I saw Alex the Comic Order showing this not too long ago, theorizing that Sunfire was so annoying they just kind of threw him in the Wave the Beam there. So kind of makes me laugh every time I see this cover. We got Uncanny 119. Next up, we got some chaos in Canada. We got X-Men 120. So I think this is like the cameo appearance of Alpha Flight technically. Once again, I think I got another copy of this, but this one is in much better. It's only got a couple ticks on the side. And of course, all these went into the halfback Mylights 2s because it's early X-Men. Why not? I think this, if I remember right, it's technically the first full appearance of Alpha Flight in 121, so I definitely didn't have this one. We got 122, Trial of Colossus. We got issue 123, Arcade's Murder World. This always reminds me of that level, and I think it's Ultimate Alliance 1, where it just drags on for an eternity because you have to fight stupid Arcade and the murder machine or whatever. So, but I think this is probably the nicest condition book out of the whole lot. And then he gets taken over, or takes over Colossus in 124. So I always thought Colossus kind of looked like Mario from Super Mario Brothers on this cover. Those goofy suspenders and that dumb hat. So I don't know if that was intentional or not by Cockrum, but I always thought it was a funny cover. We got the Return of the Phoenix in 125. Unfortunately, it's got a little bit of bends on the side there, but still pretty decent for quality. Once again, no boards in those bags. We got the Proteus run, so In Search of Mutant X on 126. So just probably one of the best covers in the whole run. 127, and this is one of the nicest, like, bright pink covers there is. Definitely no color fading on this copy. It's a very nice quality copy, so happy with that. 128. So I was definitely missing this one from my run as well. And then the main reason I kind of just decided to get this run was I got an upgrade for my copy of 129. So I keep hearing rumblings. I think it was TiVo on Lords of the Long Box was saying that there may still be some sort of Kitty Pryde movie or something in the works. And of course, this is the first Sebastian Shaw, basically the first Hellfire Club, first White Queen, Emma Frost. So this is a very important X-Men key in my opinion. And I guess it's one of those direct editions. We got to work on that one. But nonetheless, I had a nice upgrade. I actually have another copy of this signed by Chris Claremont. I may end up offloading that and keeping this one. Since Chris Claremont's scheduled to be at C2E2, I may do something with this book. We'll see. May actually put that on my C2E2 pile over here. So that does it for the X-Men books. Actually, I do have one more book to show. I almost forgot. Got this in the mail yesterday. This is the Kevin Eastman store variant for Shredder and Hell. So this one was from IDW Limited, and it sold out pretty quick, actually. I was kind of surprised, but I'm glad I got this it cost $20 plus a little bit of shipping. But nonetheless, I could not even find the A cover of this book anywhere. And I had it for an Eastman cover. This one was awesome. I don't know if it's as awesome as the Clayton Crane, but obviously, Turtles fans out there will realize why this is really cool. But yeah, I just got this in the mail yesterday, so it took a lot of time to get it. I don't know if they had to wait for the print run or what have you, but yeah, definitely was excited to get the Eastman variant for Shredder and Hell. So there it is. Very awesome. All right. So before I keep going, let's get back into the chat and see what is going on. I think I saw Bob World is in the chat. How's it going, Bob World? Hopefully he's got his package I sent him by now. I think he bought my other slab that I was offering up for sale in the last auction, as well as a couple other things. So hopefully you got that safe and sound, Bob World. Let's see what else. Apparently people are getting unsubbed. So yeah, make sure to check and make sure everybody's subbed up to each other. And yeah, hopefully everything's all right there. We got Flaming Sheila's in the chat. How's it going, Sheila? We're glad you could make it back into the chat. And Pope says he's got that other Shredder cover for me. Thanks. That's awesome, man. And Boy Who Had 7 said that cover was his favorite. All right. So I have about 15 to 20 minutes to blow here. So I asked in the Comic Core chat for ideas for my live stream, basically, because when you do one of these a week, you do a Comic Core a week. Now I'm doing signatures. I guess I can plug Signature Sundays real quick because I said part 2 of Signature Sundays last Sunday. So if you guys haven't had a chance to check that out yet, I left the link down below. Basically, I'm chronicling my entire collection, just seeing how many signed books I have. And I've already broke 100 signatures in the first 6 short boxes. So I'm really curious to see what the end number of this whole project's going to be. But nonetheless, when we're doing all these fun videos, I'll be honest, I struggle a little bit to come up with a topic every once in a while. So I kind of just flat out asked if anyone would want to see how I put together a package for shipping. Obviously, I've never done this live on camera before, so we'll stay. And you guys know me from my early days of doing this. I love me some botches. So let's see if I can package together safely a comic book, and let's see what happens. So, and hopefully someone finds this semi-educational or not boring or anything like that. Or if you guys got any feedback for me, please just go ahead and let me know. So I'm going to pick a couple books here, and I'm just going to pretend like I sold them on JP All About Comics' auction, and this is how I would package them up. So the way I send stuff is basically selling comic books, we have to use priority mail because for some reason the USPS has came out and said that if you ship things like comic books that have advertised materials in them, like, you know, those ads every other page, that is kind of prohibited using media mail, that basically the cheaper type of mail, first class. So if you tell them, if you go up to the post office and you're like, I'm shipping comic books, they will say your cheapest shipping option is priority mail. So I usually try to go for these priority flat rate envelopes because this is the cheapest way to ship priority. Right now, for me, it costs $7.35 to send this envelope, which may seem like a lot, which kind of is, but hey, that's the world we live in, unfortunately, with inflation and all that stuff and the continually digital realm that we live in. Oh, thanks once again, Great Legend, for sharing. So this is what I strive to ship in. I also just found out recently you can go to USPS.com and just basically order as many supplies as you want for free. So shout out to Who Dat. I ordered a bunch of these legal size mailers for free. And the reason I ordered the legal ones is because basically you can take these nice Gemini mailers, which if you guys buy comics a lot from the community, you're going to see a lot of these Gemini mailers get to your door. So I try to reuse where I can. But nonetheless, the nice thing about these is you can take these, pack them up real nice, and you can just slide them right in, seal it, and you can mail it out for probably like, I haven't mailed one of these yet. I think Who Dat told me it was like $8 basically instead of $7.35 and change. So I thought that was a pretty cool hack that I just figured out, because I kept getting these in the mail like, my post office does not have these. Because I asked them one day, I'm like, where do I get this? Like, we don't have those. So I had to go to the website to order these, but it was literally free to get them dropped off at your door. So that was really nice. But the reason I use these and we charge so much for shipping is because the USPS kind of has us has us to that point where this is what we have to use. And it only takes like 3 days. So the less time your stuff's in the mail, obviously it's going to be safe, the faster it can get there. So if I want to say send, sorry, I'm just picking random stuff now because I didn't plan this part. So I've got 3 books here, just picked them randomly. So I got Batman 41. This is the one where Jim Gordon comes like this mech Batman. Detective Comics 30 from New 52, cool France Manipal art. And we got Iron Man 29 from the Bronze Age. So if someone decided they wanted to buy the slot for whatever reason, I would have to charge them. Usually it's charge $7 shipping, just round down the 35 cents, just to make it as affordable as possible. So I would have to probably take these, and usually what I try to do is I try to, first off, I usually just have like random boards. So someone actually used these boards to ship something to me, and it seemed pretty safe. But for some reason I picked really thick boards for this because it's all I had left. So usually I just try to work the comics inside the boards. Actually, I forgot one step, but I don't think I have any of those boxes here. Whoops. Oh, well. But usually I take the softer priority mailers. Like there's a big one that's about the length of the comics, and I put them in there. I found that one out from the New York Warriors. So because those guys, they could ship an egg, and you would get it uncracked at your front door. So shout out to those guys. But usually I try to put them in a bag, and then I put them in the cardboard. Like so, like I said, I haven't tried this on camera yet. So usually I try to get like a nice like wedge there. So it's just cardboard on the top and bottom. And then I use, I get tape roll, obviously. So I'll try to do this as quietly as possible. So usually I try to tab the tape like that, just like I'm doing my comic books. And I just put 4 tabs on there like that. So I put one there, there, and there. I'm not going to tape all this one up, obviously, because I'm not going to waste the tape. So let's just pretend it's all nice and taped. And I just discovered recently you can go to like, your big bulk stores like your Costco's or your Sam's Clubs, and you can buy like a big giant thing of bubble wrap for like $12. So I got this big thing of Scotch bubble wrap, which is really nice because it's perforated. So of course I botched the perforation right there. See, I knew I was going to mess this up somehow. But nonetheless, it should come out like that. And not like this when you're in a hurry, but nonetheless, it's still good. So I usually try to wrap it so the bubbles are on the inside, the smooth parts on the outside, so you can actually slide it in that envelope a little bit easier. So usually what I do is I just wrap it all nice and neat inside the bubble wrap, and then I usually put a little bit of tape on that center spot so it doesn't go around everywhere. And then I take a longer strip of tape and just tape the covers or corners like that, just so it kind of is pinched like that, and there's bubbles on all 4 corners there. We'll do a little bit of taping. This is the hard part. Getting it all nice and neat like that. And then you just do the same thing on the other corner. I apologize to people with headphones right now. So you tape the top there. Boom. And hopefully your package will look something like this. It's nice and neat, except for where I botched that part there, but it's still good. So there you go. Merry Christmas. And then this is the hardest part. So if all goes according to plan, you got your basic flat rate envelope, and hopefully putting the bubbles on the inside will just allow it to slide in as effortlessly as possible. Oh yeah, look at that. And you just fold it down and seal it. So boom, there you go. Sometimes I put some tape there just in case, but most of the time I just allow the seal. But usually I'll take like one of their labels too and just put it right over that square area and cover this part up just so you can't get into it. So yeah, that's how if you guys ever buy books from me, usually that's like 6 books or less I can get into one of these. But yeah, now that I finally have these legal mailers, hopefully I can expand my options in shipping a little bit. So looking forward to figuring out that. But yeah, it costs $7.35 to mail one of these. So like I said, if you're ever in an auction bidding on my stuff, You buy 6 books or less from me, you're probably going to get something exactly like that. So hopefully you guys found that kind of informative. Hope says the last up. Put my address on that bad boy. All right. So we're going to wind down here. Hopefully that wasn't too boring or annoying with the tape. So I apologize if that wasn't entertaining enough for the feed. Hopefully maybe one person out there learned something or just at least got to mock me for my demonstration of shipping there. Because like I said, if you guys have topics you want me to talk about, please put them in the comments below or put them in the chat live. All right. We got Discovery Bay says, hey, Chad, you can have the time 5 p.m. time to yourself. Oh, yeah, I think the Tom and Bueller are going live tomorrow night instead on Bueller's channel, if I remember right. So I definitely look forward to watching that. Comics Miss Explained says, what? They all have magazines? That's whack as hell. Yeah, the magazines have ads in them too. But yeah, unfortunately, when I go to the post office, the dude recognizes my face now. So he just says like, oh, you're shipping more comics, huh? So even if I wanted to ship media mail at this point, I wouldn't be allowed. I have to go to a different post office. So I definitely would not even try to ship media mail anymore if I had to. We got Mr. Unknown Comics Guy. Yeah, he says definitely use priority shipping. That way, like you said, you get your books 4 to 7 days earlier. And the faster they're go from my hands to your guys' hands, obviously that's the safer the books are going to be. Comics Business Explained says he uses the bubble wrap as well. Yeah, even when I do the Gemini mailers, I try to do something similar where I bubble wrap the books and then put them in the Gemini mailer and then put them in the legal mailer. So try to save cost, because I think if I just sent the Gemini mailer, like I think there's probably Tacoma, because he lives in Tacoma, Washington. Sorry, I don't know if you, but I think it's pretty obvious by his name. If I have to ship to Tacoma, I have to ship all the way to Washington on the other side of the country. That's where like the most basic Gemini mailer costs like $10 to ship priority. So just in case you guys are wondering about shipping rates, I also bought a shipping scale recently. So if I can't use these, I can at least get an accurate estimate on how much shipping is going to cost me. We got Michael Johnson in the chat. What's going on, Michael Johnson? He says, what's up, peeps? So definitely sub him up and check out his video. Mr. Unknown Comic says, a whole episode of tape stuff, please. Yeah, I might have to wear earplugs for that one. Yeah, and then Hudat confirms Gemini in legal mailer is what he uses. Sorry, Tacoma, didn't mean to blow your cover there, buddy. I think he's the one who showed my address on his thing, though. I can't remember who it was. Someone I shipped something to. They were like holding, like, I shipped them a package like this, and they were just like talking, and it was in their hand. They kept going like this or something. And my address is literally like plastered all over the front. So it may have been Tacoma. So right back at you, buddy. But I bought so much stuff from this community. Everyone knows exactly where I live at this point, so I really don't care. And then we got Metarog. He says he enjoyed the advice. That's awesome. Thank you, Metarog. And he will use that technique in the future. And JD says Tacoma's address is secret. So there you go. All right, so we're going to get a sip of water. We're going to go into last plugs, and we're going to wrap this baby up. All right, so once again, for those of you just joining us, check out my Signature Sundays video. I've had a blast so far doing them. I'm chronicling the amount of signatures in my collection. I'm trying to rebag every signature in my collection. So I'm blowing through bags and boards faster than I've ever done before. Like I said, I think I went through 200 bags and boards since my last episode of the Tuesday night live stream last week. So at this point, I'm going to be going through 200 bags and boards every month. But nonetheless, if you guys like signatures, or at least maybe you want to, hear the stories of how I got the signatures, what the creator signatures look like, if they're going to maybe cost you any money or not, check out my Signature Sundays, because not only do I try to show off the books, I try to tell the story behind how I got the signature and that type of stuff. And I'm trying to keep it around 20 minutes, but I suck at that. I'll tell you that right now. So if you guys enjoy signatures, once again, please check out my Sunday video. Like I said, we got all kinds of auctions. New York Warriors, they're tonight about 9:30 p.m. Eastern. JP All About Comics will be hopefully having another auction next Wednesday around 9 p.m. Eastern. So I got to figure out if I'm going to sell anything on that. I haven't sorted a thing out yet. But always look forward to that and seeing what the other sellers have, because there's a lot of great sellers on that channel. And then Friday we've got the Comic Core, which I don't know if I'm supposed to spoil the guest for this week or not, so I won't. But we have a pretty large guest planned for this Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern, just because you never know what's going to happen on the Comic Core. Especially me, I have no clue what's going to happen on the Comic Core. But we always have fun nonetheless, so check us out 10 p.m. Eastern Friday nights on the Comic Core channel. And I believe next time, okay, Chad says go ahead. So I guess you heard it here first. If you guys like this, there's a newer YouTuber in town. His name's Comic Tom. You might have heard of him. Comic Tom will be part of the Comic Core this Friday night at 10 p.m. So definitely check it out. Definitely look forward to chatting with Comic Tom, because I've never really had a chance to talk to the guy myself. But yeah, it's a pretty big time guest for us, in my opinion. So should be a really fun show on Friday night. And then next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I don't know, maybe it's the next one after that. We're supposed to have Comic Core Unlimited with a whole new panel of Comic Core members. So I was trying to come up with something funnier, but I couldn't think of anything. Core peeps. I don't know. I'm out of jokes tonight, guys. I'm sorry. But nonetheless, stay tuned in the future for Comic Core Unlimited. Definitely looking forward to not having a host the Comic Core show. But yeah, we have some fun over at the Comic Core. But nonetheless, with that being said, just want to say bye to everybody in the chat one more time. Okay, JD confirms 2 weeks from tomorrow will be the debut episode of Comic Core Unlimited. So 2 weeks from tomorrow. Definitely looking forward to that. Discovery Bay Comics says 90 miles from comics. Chad's podcast starts next. So that's awesome. I'm definitely have to check out his stuff for sure. It was very entertaining on Bueller's show. We got Symphonic Alex says great show. I was able to catch it. Thank you so much for checking it out. Thank you, Boy Who Had 7, Comics Explained, JD, Flaming Sheila, Mr. Unknown Comics Guy, Fish Tropic with the thumbs up, Midwest Comic Man Paul, Chad Comic Core, Metarog, one of my favorites in the community, Mastodon Comics and Gaming, Tacoma Comics, sorry I told everyone where you live, Who Dat Comics and Movies, Poke Grimy, Michael Johnson, Bake the Snake. And with that, oh my God, this guy, Sting lives in my rafters. We're going to keep the tape machine